Are you ready to join the 1%? I think I probably should have checked my stats and figures before this, but I feel like with the recent presidential campaign, I remember hearing people talking about how I think it's like 1% of the population has like 90% of the wealth or something like that. Regardless of what the specific number is, I had an experience playing a game with friends yesterday that was super enlightening about that culture, that mindset that we've created, that only a few can have all the wealth in our country, or the world, I guess, at large. And I guess I'm recording this in my closet because it's quiet and free from kids and everything, and I'm taking a quick break. And I probably should specify, or I guess bring up, that I know that I'm not great at any big, super motivational, inspirational presentations with these videos, but I'm glad to just have an outlet to get some thoughts out. So back to my experience. We're playing Settlers of Catan last night. I don't know how many of you have played that game, but I hadn't played it in years, and I had pretty much forgotten entirely the rules. So my friends explained it to me, and as we played, I got to a point where I realized, man, I'm just not going to get ahead in this. And everyone else seems to know what they're doing. I just don't have a prayer, so I'm just going to go along for the ride, and I don't really care what happens. And granted, not all of this will translate into life directly because it was just a game, so that's where my mindset went. Like, it doesn't really matter. I'll just visit and socialize and have fun with my friends and my husband. But as we played, we got like 3/4 of the way into the game, and then I realized that every other person around me had with the exact same circumstances. And if I can explain this, in part of the game, you need to earn certain cards in order to purchase the capacity to build roads and then to build settlements and build cities. And I just hadn't looked, but I thought everyone had a different set of cards that they'd need in order to purchase roads. So I thought they just had an advantage over me because they had better cards. But it turns out everyone needed the exact same cards in order to purchase the exact same things. They just had different ways of going about getting those cards. And I didn't fully understand the game, and so I just gave up and decided to just go along with it. But as soon as I had that realization, we all started with the same circumstances, and they were following these, having the exact same rules to play by. I felt so dumb that I had been wasting so much time not learning from them and watching their strategy better and trying to catch up and to get where they were, or to even to beat them, because I am a pretty competitive person. But anyway, after the game, one of the guys at the table commented on how my position, after we all made fun of the fact that I hadn't realized that everyone was on the same playing field, literally, I guess. We talked about how socially that applies. Like, some people, and he was just joking, but it was so true, that there are people who get stuck in this mindset that they are the victim, that they don't have the means to be able to get where other people are. They're just not capable of being as successful, or they might view those who are wealthy or who have achieved great success in their life as having had an advantage over them, or having some sort of upper hand that just allowed them to get where they were. I'm a firm believer in hard work and the American dream, and people being able to get exactly where they want to be if they're willing to put in the work. We are all born into different circumstances, but I believe the opportunities are there all around us. And we live in a country with the same rules, laws, expectations of each person, yet it's so easy. And I don't fault you for being human and falling into this the tendency of, well, those other people are just successful and this is just my lot in life. Like, that, I understand where that comes from. But I'm here to tell you, if you believe that that's your circumstance, that everyone else who's successful just had it handed to them, or they were just lucky, or success was just meant for them, or whatever other excuse you want to come up with, or they were, I don't know, I don't know what word I'm looking for. They were immoral about it, or they had no morals and values and they just stole their way to the top, or they just slept their way to the top, or whatever. Any excuse you want to come up with, that's BS. I don't say that very often. But you can be successful if you're willing to let go of the idea that it's only achievable for some. You need to be willing to let that go. You can have a successful life. And our level of success, there's no winners and failures in this life unless you choose to compare yourself to other people. Everyone has a varying level of amount of time in order to get to their level of success. And it might take you a different amount of time, but you can be successful in the time that you have in your life. This isn't a game where there's a winner and a loser at the very end of the game. What determines whether you win or lose is how long you pursue your chosen path, or how long you put time and effort into trying to be something more than you are today. And there's no end until your end. Up until that point, you have all the chance and opportunity in the world to change your circumstances. I believe in that. And if you want help and support, being motivated and inspired to be able to do that, come talk to me, comment on this, or message me, or I don't remember exactly how you reach me. I probably will put some information in the notes below the video. But anyway, you can do it. I'm a stay-at-home mom right now. I'm not achieving a ton of worldly success, but I'm successful in my own right in what I'm currently doing. And I believe that you can find success too. Monetary success, success in your business, success with your family, whatever you determine success to be, you can achieve it. And stop using the word lucky. No one in this world is lucky. Luck is an excuse for people who choose to disregard hard work and finding opportunity around you. So please just completely cut that from your vocabulary. And when you see other people or hear other people using it, help them learn to cut it too, because luck doesn't exist. What happens in this life comes as a result of hard work and effort, and using the time and opportunities and resources that God's given us to try and find success. But you need to figure out what that means for you. So again, I hope this all comes together at the end, that you recognize opportunity is out there if you look for it. And it is possible to break free of that mold or that culture we've created in our country that only some can be successful and some just won't. And some just won't because they'll choose not to. But you can. If you want it, you can be successful.